arrogance of man is taking DJs in our control and not the other way around.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Please, can you kill it?
What has gone far?
Nobody trusts anybody now.
Come on, you hate. You want to live forever?
I got a real bad feeling about this.
Godzilla will live.
And welcome back to the 98th episode of the Monster Movie Stompdown. Of course, you got your host, Sludge, here, co-host across from me,
It's Mark.
and the master from Texas.
Ruben.
So I think it's about high time now that we did, because we'll talk about this real quick. We finished up our Friday night fights to find out who would be the ultimate winner at the Monster Movie Stompdown to choose something special and secretive to do on the 100th episode. And I did honestly tell the guys, I expected Mark to win this one. Because people that talk to me and comment, he seems to be the most loved. But no, I came out on top, beating all four of you guys. Was not expected that, to be honest. I swear I didn't expect that whatsoever. But in the doing so, what, Ruben?
I said, I didn't expect it either because I was given assurances from a third party or fourth party in this case that Sludge would not be winning this contest. He didn't say how or what. He just said, "Don't worry about it, Ruben. It won't be Sludge."
I think there's
All
a
right.
little,
and
little
it's I mean,
3-foot
I don't know
monster I
what
gotta
went,
talk
I don't
to.
know what went down. I mean, I'm not gonna reveal his name, but he told me he could pull some strings and get it done, and apparently he couldn't pull any strings.
Kind of backfired.
So
well, I
Kinda
think it would happen to
backfired
be one little short, loudmouth orange guy is probably who that was, and we'll handle that.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Pretty stoked for those guys, though, actually. So make sure you check out their newest episode this month because Frank picked his first film, and they're doing Harry and Henderson's, and he is super stoked about that one. I even called and talked to him and was like, hey, man, did you enjoy the movie? He's like, yes, this is so much better than anything you pick. I was like, well, thanks, man.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah.
that was the consensus the last show I did with them. That was the consensus that Sludge doesn't know how to pick a movie.
Oh, those two.
There you go.
Those
There
two.
you go.
I'm gonna be like, why did I hire y'all? But anyway, so since I won the the Friday night fights, I'm gonna pick something super special for the 100th episode. And of course, I'm not going to say anything until it happens. But we're just 2 episodes away,
Oh,
and
Lordy.
we got
Lordy.
a big film for you guys. One of the rarest Holy Grail kaiju films of all time, Space Monster and Mogwai, finally got found, finally got released. And we are going to cover this Holy Grail of a film on our 100th episode. And that's going to be really, really cool. Then I got something really cool, some cool ideas planned for the episode. But in stating that, we know, you got Sludge, you got the master from Texas. And Mark, I mean, it's out there now. I mean, the Lorax is how you were labeled on,
that's it.
on
It's
the
done.
sheets,
Yeah. Yeah. You need to explain what you did.
What do you mean what I did?
You did. You did. This is all your fault.
I did nothing, okay? This was a consensus years ago. The band I used to tour with, we just all kind of started calling Mark the Lorax, the one who speaks for the trees, because he just looks like the Lorax.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of stuck. So we all put him in our phones as the Lorax. I mean, when you grab my phone, and it's been this way for, 15 years?
Yeah.
It calls, when Mark, my father, calls, it says Lorax on my phone. And the same with all the other guys in the protest. Josh and Sarge and TJ, when you call them, that's the Lorax. Well, I don't know if it's because that has been his contact information for multiple phones for so many years. Now, when you call other people outside of our family network, it comes up as the Lorax, correct?
Yes, it definitely does. Definitely does.
You had an issue with a customer the other day.
I couldn't find her apartment. I was delivering a pizza, so I called her and she didn't answer. And so I'm thinking, okay, now I got a problem. I still can't find this. And then all of a sudden, my phone rang. And this lady says, hello. And I'm like, yeah, this is Mark, Pizza Plus. I can't find your apartment to get your pizza. She said, well, the phone rang and it said the Lorax on it. So I was afraid to answer it. I didn't know who it was. I was like, oh my lands, it's ridiculous.
So, I mean, I think it's just it's going to be a short time before people are going to be like, man, we got to go down to the Weaver Pocket Pizza Plus because that's where the Lorax
That's where
works.
the Lorax is.
And he speaks for the trees. So I don't know, man. I think I'm going to start introducing the co-host as the Lorax since we have the Master of Texas. But we will.
do you have some kind of a vegetable only pizza? Vegetarian or vegan pizza?
We do have a Veggie Delight
You
pizza.
you should rename it the Lorax.
Oh,
that's what you
that's
ought
an
to do.
idea. We'll give that a shot.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah,
You should
yeah,
present
yeah.
that to Dan because, I mean, how many times have you called up to the home office and it's like the Lorax
Oh yeah,
is
I
calling?
call corporate office and they know it's the Lorax and they'll answer it. Hey Lorax,
Yeah, the
what's
Lorax.
up? I go, oh man,
I mean,
oh man.
Lorax special. Of course, I might. I don't know how. I don't know who owns the rights to Dr. Zeus and all that, but you may get a phone call like Sludge here got a letter from Toho. You might get a phone call or something.
Exactly.
We had a. I don't know.
Probably.
So people, they're gonna
We
watch
actually
the
had
episode.
we have a coffee shop, and it's actually right down the road, and it was called the Coffee Muggle, and it was Harry Potter themed. I don't know if you guys ever read Harry Potter. I haven't, or seen the movies. I haven't done it, but apparently the Muggle is something in Harry Potter. So they renamed it, and they were fine for a couple of years, and then they got a cease and desist from whoever Harry Potter, publisher or whatever.
That's what they were.
And
They
they
were
had
called Mark.
to
They
had to
call us,
change
they're
their
called
name.
Mark.
Yeah,
You need to cease and desist
They're called
using the
Mark.
Lorax as a
Yeah.
name. It's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I even told the kids.
I just want to put that disclaimer out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I even told the
Go
kids when the movie The Lorax finally came out, and I was telling Gavin, I said, "Look, I said, doesn't that not look like Basketball Mark?" And he's like, "With the mustache, yeah." I was like, "That's why he's the Lorax, So, but all right,
Crazy.
so
It's crazy.
we're going to move on with this episode 98. We've had a theme of 8s this month for whatever reason, and we just did Orochi the Eight-Headed Dragon, also known as Yamato Takaru, and this time we are doing Eight-Legged Freaks, a 2002 film with David Arquette about giant spiders that will turn giant because of some toxic sludge. That's all you need. Toxic sludge, and you get all kinds of great monster movies. So, Eight-Legged Freaks, this is an absolute blast to watch. Check out the trailer.
It's a beautiful morning here in Prosperity, Arizona. Right here at KFRD, the only source for the inside dope on space aliens and when they plan to invade. It's time for America to wake up, people! Wake up before it's too late! People are saying, well, it's coyotes and it's wolves, but we know the truth. Oh my God!
What exactly is that? Spider, man.
Our town is being attacked by giant spiders. They're here! They're here!
Warner Brothers Pictures presents the biggest, nastiest mutant spider movie of all time.
Get ready! Oh yeah, this is Get back, you eight-legged freaks!
Hey, Spidey!
Thank you.
All right, so that was the trailer for Eight-Legged Freaks, and this movie, again, came out in July of, I don't remember the date, but July of 2002, directed by Ellery,
Yeah, go ahead.
LKM, Somebody
luck
we
with all
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, you had trouble with that
Like-
before.
Like, so, Ellery somebody. I don't even know if this Ellery person's even done any other movies, but directed this film. But it's got a great cast. David Arquette, of course, everyone knows him from Scream. Married Courtney Cox of Friends and also Scream. Got Carrie Werr. I don't know how to pronounce her name either. Is in this. One of Scarlett Johansson, not her first film, but one of her first big prominent roles. Scarlett Johansson's in, and then of course you got my favorite character, who I will definitely be talking about, played by none other than Dougie Doug in this movie, who plays Harlan, who is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Super simple movie, man. This is you've got a guy who collects spiders in this small town that's kind of run aground. They're going bankrupt because there was mines underneath the town, and they kind of ran up dry. David Arquette plays the son of the guy who owned the property the mines were on, who has since died, who believed there was a gold mine down there. And, of course, no one believed it. Well, the town's gone bankrupt. Mines are closed. The mayor of the town tried to build a mall. Didn't work. And so they're talking about selling the town to these big companies. And David Arquette comes back. His new character's name's Chris. And it's like, nope, we're not selling anything. We're going to get them mines back to work, whatever. No one cares because all we care about is the spiders in this movie. But while this is happening, a toxic waste barrel is dumped into a local water source, and crickets start feeding off of this. And these crickets are then fed to spiders by this guy who collects and sells exotic spiders named Jacob. And they start growing to massive size. Of course, they break out of their tanks, kill him and his parrot, and who loves the movie Sixth Sense, apparently. And then they make it into the mines where they continue to grow, and then they attack the town. And it's up to Chris or David Arquette's character and the sheriff, played by Carrie Werr, to try and save the town and stop the spiders. All culminates back into the mines, into a really cool, awesome scene where they use the methane gas to blow up all the spiders. Not much to this movie, man. It's just a fun monster movie romp, very much in the vein of Gremlins. Like for me, I think it's very much a Gremlins type vibe. So
Yeah, I would agree.
yeah. So the movie had a $30 million budget, did $45 million to box office, so not exactly a bomb. Wasn't a huge success, but did very well on home video release as well. Never got a sequel, sadly. I think it definitely should have, because that would have been awesome. But let's jump into this one, man. Mark, it's been a minute. Let's let you start off. What did you think of Eight-Legged Freaks?
I liked the movie. It was very good. The comedy parts of it I thought was good. They did a good job with it. Special effects were good. Some of the stuff was, they try to get a little cheesy and stuff. The toxic waste. The guy goes out and he's catching crickets in the water, one cricket at a time by hand. And I thought,
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's pretty good. That's come up with that thing. But I think overall, man, love watching it. I'd watch it, and I will watch it again and again because it's just a very good movie. I think the plot of the story was good, and they had a lot of room to work with comedy on it. And so I think, with me, I give it a thumbs up. Just a very good movie. Good actors and actresses in it that went on, to do more stuff. And so I thought, they had a good crew. I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, definitely. This is a fun watch movie.
Yes.
This is,
Definitely.
I mean, you laugh a lot in this movie, which is the spirit of the film, and I totally agree with that. Special effects were definitely on par. Before I jump into what I want to say about it, Ruben, what did you think of Eight-Legged Freaks?
I loved it. I thought it was a great film. When you see the stomp rating, the only reason I gave it that stomp is because I've been critical of other movies that are probably on par with it or a little bit better. So just to be fair, that's how I did my stomp. But I liked it. I mean, I loved I loved the story. It like, let's put it pretty accurately. It's just a fun movie. There's not much to it. It's not complicated. You don't have to figure out what the heck's going on. It's just, here it is. And to me, it's more like a Gremlins movie, you said, and it's like the 50s sci-fi. I mean, like a Them or a Tarantula type movie. That's what, a matter of fact, Them shows up on the TV
it's on
screen
TV
there.
there.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yep. And that's what it was done. And the movie was made. There's movies that are made that aren't supposed to be silly, and they're made and there's just silly. And then there's this one that is made and they purposely were silly it was all done for that's what they wanted. It was not made silly by accident like other movies you've seen. So um they didn't take itself too seriously, I guess would be the only term I can think of. So I liked it. I mean, I liked every aspect of it. There was a lot of not bloopers, but there's just a whole bunch of stuff that I noticed. Like one scene in the barber shop where they attack the barber shop, and in one scene he's out and he says, "Oh, I'm going home," and then he hears a noise in the back. He goes and he sees a spider, webbing up his friend or whatever. Then he goes out, and then the window's all broken from the inside, or somebody had looked like somebody just knocked over a coat rack or something. Then they cut back to him, and he looks up on the ceiling, and somebody else is getting webbed, and then it shoots back down to him, and the window's not broken again. I'm like, well, wait a minute, what the heck? And then another thing that kind of made me giggle was they're in the final scene, with the final battle with the main spider, the queen, I guess.
Oh yeah, the
Where there's a
old
bunch
Weaver
of there's a bunch of methane there's a bunch of methane gas. We can't do any sparks. But let me fire up this motorcycle real quick and it'll be
queen.
perfect.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, now wait a minute, you can't make any sparks, but you just fired up a motorcycle in there, and then you're gonna ride it on through there. Yeah, the exhauster and all that other stuff won't matter.
Got to suspend
so,
suspend.
Yeah,
disbelief.
you have to do that with
Got
movies
to.
like you have to suspend that. And I've said it before. If you're gonna watch these kind of movies, you can't hold that again. And I didn't hold it against it. You can't hold that against it because you're in it to suspend reality and just escape into the movie. And this is one of those escapism type movies. You just want to sit there with a tub of popcorn, a drink, and just enjoy it. Just have fun. If you have, I think this will be all right for kids. I don't think it was too.
No,
gory.
yeah, I mean, like even I'm pretty strict on what
I don't think it
my
was too
kids
gory or
watching.
anything.
All of my kids have
Yeah.
seen this movie.
Yeah.
Gavin loves it. He thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, so I don't think it's too gory. Even I mean, the kills aren't over the top or anything like that. I mean, I
I
really
think
don't
worse,
have
you
too
get
many complaints about it.
The deputy gets some slime in his beard.
Yeah, yeah.
That's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah,
I
there
think.
you go. Yeah, and there, those little like the deputy and you mentioned the guy who runs the radio station,
Harlan,
the
yes.
conspiracy theory guy, Harlan. They all add to the fun of the movie. Because it's so funny. Harlan, he's more likely to believe that they're alien spiders than actual spiders.
Yeah, yeah.
He wants them to be alien spiders, and I'm like, they're just regular spiders who ate some bugs. No, they got to be alien spiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even like Chris and Pete, the deputy. There, I don't know how many times in the movie like they're just spiders, man. Like that's all they are.
They're just spiders. And he's like, no, they got to be aliens, and so it's just a lot of fun to watch. I think, it's more. I mean, it's not so much a monster movie than it is. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint what this is. I wouldn't want to call it a comedy, but it's I don't know. It's a monster comedy. How about that?
Yeah, I would.
But
agree
all in all,
definitely.
I really didn't have any complaints about it, and it's a rewatch. It is a rewatchable movie, one that I would watch over and over again because it's fun to watch. So, and that's it. I really didn't have any negatives really. I mean, the acting was decent. It wasn't bad. For what it was. All right, for what it was. I mean, is it going to get an Academy Award nomination? No. For what it was great. I mean, it was great. And to see, a young Scarlett Johansson, I mean, I saw her in The Horse Whisperer when that's the first role I saw her in. And this one, she was a teenager. But she didn't look much like a teenager in that movie, but she was a teenager. And of course, her mom was out of this world. So that's
Carrie
that's half a
Wurr.
stomp right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
That-
Carrie Wurr is worth half a stomp
one
right
stomp
there.
right there for
Yeah,
Ruben.
right
So,
there. Yeah.
man, I mean, I'm the same boat with you guys, man. This movie, I don't know how many times I've watched this movie. This movie is so much fun. I love the life they give the spiders. I mean, the spiders, they make noises when they get hurt, or like the gremlin noises. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like the
the one jumps on the
that's
car,
exactly
then it
what they
starts to
remind
fall
of.
off the back, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's like or like you'll get those comedic moments where there's the scene where Chris or David Arquette's character is on the top of the mall, and he like rope lines off of the power line from the antenna into one of the air ducts, and he makes it. But the spider following him, that's on the rope line too, screaming as it's going, and then it hits, smacks right into that air duct and just goes, those little quirky moments, man. It's full of that, and that really pushes for how light this movie is in tone, and just the comedic factor of it is super, super awesome. And a lot of the deaths are done that way. They're very, like the old man from the barbershop, he's they're in the mall, and he's managed to survive so far, and it looks like everything's gone, and so he's in like the sporting goods store or whatever, and he comes out of the little back closet, and he's looking around, and then like he gets in front of that tent, and he starts walking, then that tent starts moving towards him, and it's like, is there really a spider hiding out in that tent trying to hide from him? Just those little things like that just make it great. And I think the characters are really, really good. To me, I mean, Arquette does a great job in it. Carrie Werf does a great job. And Scarlett Johansson does a good job in this movie. But man, for me, it was Dougie Doug and Rick Overton, Harlan and Pete. Harlan's his constant role of "you're not getting that anal probe near me" is one of the funniest running jokes through a film ever. Like even at the end monologue when he was like, "And two more things, people, they never got that probe near me." You know what I mean? Like he just can't stop talking about it. He's a hilarious character. I mean, even little things that are just absolutely stupid. Getting him and Chris on top of the tower trying to get the cell phone call, and instead of riding down with Chris, he decides to jump down. He's like, "Fight for the human race, save the human race." It's like, what? And he jumps off the building and lands into the bush. Then he's right there with Pete, and they come out the door and they're like, "Maybe we should just go inside." They're like, "Yeah, let's go inside." And then the door's locked, and they come out like, "I think we should run." Yeah, run sounds good. I mean, those two, they're fantastic characters. And Pete's always getting slime all over him, and one of my favorite scenes is at Pete's house with one of the first spider attacks, where it gets in the air duct, and their cat follows him in the air duct.
Oh, yes, that's hilarious.
Like, oh my gosh, that scene is fantastic.
All the prints in the drywall as they're going through, it's just great.
As they're fighting, you'll see like the cat's face twisted and turned into the drywall, then the spiders, and you hear them fighting, and fantastic, man. Like this movie they knew what they wanted to go for. They wanted to go for that Gremlins type of vibe of a horror comedy, but make it a lot more fun, a lot more kid-friendly, but not cheesy in a way that makes it like, oh, gosh, I don't want to watch this kid's movie. I mean, it's definitely, it's not that. It's one that the whole family can watch, and it is an absolute blast from start to finish. I mean, just funny. Even his aunt, I can't remember the aunt's name, Chris's aunt, who gets taken by one of the spiders, that smokes all the cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
She's fantastic. I mean, every character in this was absolutely hilarious and what they're supposed to be. Special effects were pretty good, man, for 2002. We've been in the computer graphics era for 8 years as far as serious. If you count Jurassic Park as really the first big boom go ahead, because we had computer graphics all the way back to Terminator 2 and The Abyss and stuff like that, but to where characters are fully CGI, because all of these spiders are CGI in this movie, and they did a fantastic job with them. And like there's no shortage of death in this film. Like these spiders attack and eat a lot of people, but you don't really see any human blood in it. You know what I mean? Like you can see the action, but they do it right to where you can't like see the fangs hitting, going inside these people or things like that. But it was fantastic. Like I don't know how many times I've seen this film. I will continue to watch this film. Like if I just want a feel-good movie that's fun to watch, this is one I put on pretty regularly. Like I said, Gavin's seen it several times, and he thinks it's absolutely hysterical. He laughs all the time at all the noises the spiders make, and so I'm a big fan. I have no real complaints. Even those little things like Ruben was talking about, the little hiccups. That don't matter. I mean, like it doesn't bother me at all because I know what type of film I'm watching, and it was a fun ride. So, I think we're ready to give our Stompdown rating. Pause for that. All right, so collectively, this one did pretty well with us. So collectively, got a 3.5 out of 5 stomps, ranging from 3 with the Lorax.
Oh,
gave it a 3. Master of Texas gave it a 3.5. And then I gave it a 4. I mean, so right in the middle of the road, 3.5 stomps, man. Like, it's, is it one of the greatest classics ever? No. There's definitely a lot better films, but man, for what it is just a fun watch, and I ranked it high. And you guys can say why you ranked it where you ranked it.
And you know, and
of
your
playability.
4 is not, your 4 is not outrageous. Like I said, the only reason I didn't go higher is because, to be fair to other movies that I've been harsh on, and maybe, and so I had to put it there. I still have to respect my stomps from my previous 96 movies. Or what are we on? 97, 98?
98.
So 97 or 97 episodes. So I have to be a little bit respectful of that.
Yeah,
But
and
I think,
I'm the guy who
and
gave Carnosaur a high rating, and I know people are like, "What?" So I guess take mine with a grain of salt.
there you go. Well, and that's what I was getting to is, maybe I shouldn't be. I should just judge it for what I feel about it, and forget how I've judged other movies, because you rate movies. All of us do. I think we rate our movies by how much we enjoy them, what we like, and there may be a movie that's a classic that I don't enjoy as much as Eight-Legged Freaks.
Right.
They got a 5, but I might enjoy this one more for different reasons, and it should get the same amount of stars, and I shouldn't hold that against it. But it's a learning process for me, so it's going to take a while for me to break that mold of trying to rate it because I think this other movie is better, and I didn't give it as higher rating. But this one's this one is good for different reasons than maybe something else I gave a 4 to. So it's great. But that's just how I rate it. I just want to make sure our audience knows that it's actually, I actually think it's better than the 3.5 I gave it, but I didn't feel right giving it a 4.
And I put like 2.5 stomps. That's the middle of the road. That's the average movie. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And go above and below on how you feel about the movie you watched. And to me, I thought it was a good movie, and I went with a 3, and could have went a little higher, but I felt like 3 was a good score for what I watched.
Yeah. It's the same here. I mean, mine got a 4. Really, the biggest reason I got a 4 is just because of sheer enjoyment and replayability. Like, there's not a lot of movies that I can watch and go back and watch over and over and over again. Very few movies have made it past the 10 times viewed, 20 times viewed thresholds, other than some select Godzilla films.
Like 98.
That's a bit whopping no. That's still
come on, that one's 3 digits.
Yeah,
we're talking.
It is.
That's a 3 figure.
That's a 5 on that movie.
That's a 3. That's a 3.
High.
That's a 3-figure movie right there,
man,
bud. I'm telling you.
No. But this is one where, like, I couldn't tell you exactly how many times I've watched this film, but I mean, I would say it's probably somewhere between 10, 20 times at least, because it's just that much fun. Which is why I got a 4. For me, is just the replayability with the enjoyment level. This one is why it's so good. So, but there you go, man. 3.5 stomps collectively from us. We all highly recommend, if you've not seen Eight-Legged Freaks, watch Eight-Legged Freaks, man. You can watch this with the kids.
It's a good one.
Yeah, you guys would have an absolute blast with this movie, and we'll probably watch it. I mean, I believe that you'd watch it multiple times because it's fun to go back to and enjoy and have a good laugh while watching a good fun monster romp. Again, much like Gremlins, and the same vein. Gremlins is probably more darker than
oh yes, definitely
than this is
definitely.
for sure. But you'll watch it and go, yeah, I've got the Gremlins vibe from this. You're waiting to hear Howie Mandel's little voice pop up here or there. So definitely check it out, man. And so that's Eight-Legged Freaks, and it's time to move on to our next segment. But we have some not bad news. It's good news. But we are going to discuss Santos and the Treasure of Dracula that me and Mark had to watch as the penalty film from the last Stomp Your Might. But we will not be doing a Stomp Your Might this episode. The reason being is it is Charlie's birthday.
Old man.
Yeah, so our trivia master, who has done great, who has faced and dealt with the scrutiny of us sometimes with some of these, and given him movies that he can find no trivia for. So he's worked hard, and just so happened we had to record tonight's episode with our schedule was the same time as his birthday, so he gets the night off. And we want to wish him a very happy birthday, Charlie.
For the record, me and Mark have never questioned him.
Never.
That is the biggest load of crap ever. This is why I do not
recall ever questioning him.
High regards.
Yes, that's right.
We don't question at all.
They are lying. Right before the episode, Mark was questioning Charlie.
What?
So
I
don't
do
want to
not
hear
recall
that whatsoever.
Did you hear me question Charlie? I didn't. I don't. remember
I don't remember
Yeah.
hearing anything like that.
Oh yeah, that's
don't-
fine. I'm gonna start recording these episodes sooner, just so I got some of the extra B-roll. I ain't gonna worry about saving hard drive space.
All I know is of us three, everybody listening and watching. Of us three, who's always saying, "Well, that one, I'm gonna have to talk to Charlie about
and
that."
you know
one.
what?
I'm
And
gonna
you
have
know
to
what,
talk to Charlie.
in the beginning, he was getting all the answers all the time, and then we
Right.
started questioning exactly
yeah.
how he was getting these answers. And the moment we put our foot down, guess who's been having to
That's when
watch some
Okay.
movies for losing?
See, Charlie, see what you've done. See, I am not the mole here. Okay.
Yeah,
And
it-
look,
it's
and
coming out.
but hey, I will straight up say it. Okay, I have only lost some of these because of I think our
There you go. Here
Here it
comes.
comes.
Here
Here
comes.
it
our
comes.
good reasons
Here it
to
comes.
dispute. You know, we can go back to the first dinosaur film. You know, he did.
Yeah.
You know, there was the debate on cartoon versus live
There was no
action.
debate. It was only Sludge
Yeah.
saying no.
I
no,
was
that can't
right.
be
The
true.
first dinosaur on film ever was Gertie the dinosaur by like 3 months, But, he was talking about, in stop motion animation. Well, animation's animation, or the Pacific Rim theory with Cloverfield and blah, blah, blah. That's come on now, and then
All I know is ever since me and Ruben put our foot down on you and Charlie doing a lot of behind the scenes speaking,
Yeah.
Oh,
your trivia record has went downhill.
hey, it's just we just want to be fair. That's all it is.
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
well, that's the
Sorry.
whole point we
Just
were
wanna
talking
be-
about.
want to be fair to the fellow co-host here. So, no, man, we're super appreciative of Charlie. And Charlie's he's one of our brothers from the Give Me Back podcast. Give Me Back My Action Movies. Give Me Back My Horror Movies. Please go check them out. Check out every show on the network. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. They're all an absolute blast. And Charlie helps make everything run, man, with the network, and he works very, very, very hard. I know they record a lot of
And-
episodes.
And he's one heck of a woodworker. How about that?
Oh, absolutely. Like, if you guys follow
Yeah.
us, check out his personal page if you can, or just see his craftsmanship is phenomenal. He just made a game table for a restaurant that was, man, like
I'm
top
telling
notch.
you, he's Ron Swanson level. That's how good he is. Ron. From
Oh, there's no
Parks and Rec. In case
no
anyone-
argument there. He really, really is. So, Charlie, from all of us here at the Monster Movie Stompdown, man, we hope you've had, because by the time this comes out, it'll be past your birthday. You've had a fantastic birthday.
Exactly.
And we miss you, and we'll see you on the next episode. And you just remember, make sure you get that trivia right and on point.
We got it, man. It works.
I'm going to eventually have to just lay the law down.
and thank
No, I'm just kidding.
goodness we're not doing trivia because I didn't get anything. I didn't do any trivia studying this time.
Man, this should have been the one we would have done, So that'd been good.
Yeah,
Nah,
I just didn't have,
I haven't had a chance
just didn't
to
do it.
I mean, which of course, with a lot of the trivia, honestly, when it comes to that, like I don't study anything like Ruben does. Ruben, that's why I think I need to start studying. If I want to be a good student, I gotta
Study
gotta
away,
study
buddy.
away because Ruben's always on top of it. And
I just don't want to watch one of Sludge's picks. That's my only
There you go.
motivation.
Mark
That's it.
knows. Mark, tell us how are those picks?
Oh, well, I think did Pete have anything to do with the movie that we just had to watch? Or
Yes,
was that all you,
That was
Ruben?
Pete and Ruben, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, yep. He gave me a bunch of suggestions, and a
knew
while back he told me about something. Yeah, that's right. That's
Okay,
right.
yeah,
Of course,
see.
he knows I
But
like
now,
Luchador movies.
so okay, let's get into this. So you had to watch, and we both watched it, but a Ruben / Pete film.
Oh yeah.
Okay, with Santos and the Treasure of
Yeah.
Dracula. Now, for this movie, for those who don't know, came out in the '60s. This is a luchador film. So pretty much you got Santos, who's a luchador, and he's the hero of the movie, and he's thrown into these ridiculously crazy situations, and that's what most of these films are like. And they are an absolute blast to watch. And so I was stoked when, as you watched the last episode, to watch this movie because they're fun. I enjoy them. It's my first rodeo, I guess, with these dudes. And but I've never seen this one, and it was a blast. I really enjoyed the film. I was
He liked it. He liked it.
I was totally Ruben's over there like, I don't know what else to do here. I did, man, and like I remember watching it too, like and my wife was even like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" Because I'm watching the movie, and they send her back in time, and of course, back in time, Von Roth, who's supposed to be Van Helsing, kills Dracula in the movie, but then like they come back to the future. Type deal, and then like Dracula pipes up again out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting it. And he's standing in that window with the little girl, like going through the drawer trying to find the amulet. I was like, "Holy crap!" And my wife was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting Dracula to show up." So I mean, I was into the film, like I'd really enjoy these. But so what did you think of Santos?
Well,
in your first time seeing him?
What we have here? Okay, so we had Dracula.
Yep.
Okay, and we've got Santos, who's a wrestler.
Yep.
Scientist.
Yep.
That's right.
We have the Mexican cartel.
The Black Mask.
Oh,
yep.
yeah, the Black Mask group. And I'm thinking, what else can you not put in this thing? This is crazy. And then they start wrestling, and I'm like, that's it, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
No, Ruben, you and Pete did a good job because I did not like this movie one bit. I was like, are you kidding me? I got to sit through this.
I remember sitting here when I was watching it, and it's the scene where they're outside of the like the tomb of Dracula in present time.
Yeah.
And they gotta have the ring, and then they gotta have the amulet to decipher where his treasure is. And they're like, no. They come to some conclusion that they're going to have Santos fight or wrestle the Black Mask's son, who's like a luchador in training, in a wrestling match. And they decide it's gonna be 2 weeks from today. I'm like, what? Why didn't we just do this now? Like right here. You've been fighting already. Get it on. Anyway, I thought that moment, I was like, this might be the moment where Mark's will be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Because it does. It goes straight from there to like you're in the wrestling ring.
Yeah. I was like, good Lordy, here we go.
It was.
So I hit a home run. As far as Mark is
yes.
concerned.
Yes, you did.
But this guy over here enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, it was such a blast.
Even even when I talked to him today, because I couldn't remember the exact title, whether it's on the Plex or not. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I watched it. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" Good Lord.
Well, my list. There's movies that Sludge what I think Sludge would hate, and there's movies I think that Mark would hate. So I did think Mark would not like this one. I did not. I thought I'd get Sludge too, but oh well. I guess I gotta wait for next time. Mark, I promise. Next time it'll be something that Sludge hates.
Yeah.
I make that promise to you.
If it's a monster movie or monster related, good luck with it.
The next time that I win trivia, if it happens again or whatever, it'll be a Sludge type movie.
We need to find something that he just.
Yes. And believe me, in texting back and forth with Pete, these suggestions were like Sludge would hate this one. He'll hate this one.
And while all that's happening, like me and Pete will be messaging every so often to each other on Slack. And he's like, "Dude, look at this movie I found," And he's like, "I'm like, yeah, we need to find that." Or like this one of the newest ones we discovered, this movie called Hiroku, which is like about a goblin. It's a Japanese movie. And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I gotta find that. We need to watch that. That'd be great, So there's all these really terrible movies that me and him would be talking about. It's like, dude, we gotta find this. Like this is on the watch list. So I don't know if Pete's telling you the truth there, but Pete now he does pick some movies where I'm like, what in the world?
There are some that I know that you despise. You mentioned a couple of them, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. He's mentioned that, and I wrote it down.
Okay.
And it's not Titanic, and it's not Godzilla '98. We already, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Plus, you already had to watch.
Deep
Titanic,
down in, those were his favorites anyway. So we really,
there's
absolutely
anyway,
not, absolutely not. So
his dream movie would be Godzilla '98 actually attacks the Titanic.
Oh yes, he would love
together.
that. He would love that.
No, that would be hell. That's what it is. That's just pure hell, is what it is. So I mean, Pete, you've got Santos and the Treasure of Dracula. And then, of course, we did, Ship of Monsters back in the day.
Yeah.
But then I've made you watch movies like, Zarkor and Zontar, the Man from Venus.
Those are bad, too.
Are they?
Those are bad, too.
We're drinking those. I was actually, thinking of the movies that we've had to watch, Robot Monster that he picked.
Yeah.
I was at McKay's a couple weeks ago, bought a crap ton of books. and I was going through the DVDs real quick and found a Blu-ray of
Really?
Robot Monster. I was like, what? Now, I almost picked
Wow.
it up if it wasn't like $30 though.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's
Wow.
like such a low print copy. I meant to start researching when I came home, but I was like, man, it's almost worth it just to have this because you could watch it in 3D too. So, I mean, you had the regular version, then you have it in 3D that you can watch.
3D version.
Yeah, originally
Yeah.
it was originally
Yeah, really?
was released in 3D.
I
that
didn't.
movie
I
was.
didn't realize that.
That's where all the
Or I
budget
didn't
went
remember.
because nothing else went to the film. It all just went to
Yeah.
it being 3D. So, but all right, man. Well, that's it. I know it's a shorter episode, but that's okay because we're getting major preparations for our 100th episode. Now, our next episode is a movie we have not done, and we don't understand why we haven't done it yet. But episode 99 is going to be Mark's pick. It's going to be Pacific Rim. Super stoked for that one. Cannot wait to discuss that, and I'm going to double check our trivia for that one because we might go back to Cloverfield somehow in the middle of that movie. But so next one, episode 98, is going to be Pacific Rim, and again, our big 100th episode is going to be Space Monster Wamagwi, which I've already seen. I don't know if you guys watched that yet. I got on the Plex for
yet.
y'all.
I have not.
I haven't watched it yet. Okay, so
I have not.
it's a film. We're just going to leave it at that. It's a film.
Oh,
So it's going to be
no.
interesting. So, but all right, man. Thank you guys again so much. Check out Eight Legged Freaks if you haven't watched it. We promise
Good
you
movie.
it is
movie.
good, and you will
Yeah.
absolutely enjoy it. So again, this is your host Sludge, the Lorax across from me,
It's Mark.
and the Master from Texas.
Ruben.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Night, y'all.